I'm Nick Seco from HomeRight Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Welcome to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice. Online, homerightwaynesboro.com. We are joined by two of the, is it actresses? It would be actresses, right? Okay. From the upcoming production of 9 to 5. Now, our audience, especially our country audience, knows 9 to 5 starring Dolly Parton. Who doesn't remember that? Obviously, the mega hit song. But you ladies are in the starring roles of this production, which hits up Totem Playhouse. So it is playing now. It is a wonderful show. I have seen bits and pieces. They've shared clips with me. So very impressed so far, and I can't wait to go sit and watch the entire thing. But let's talk about your story. So Allie, we'll start with you and just go into your history a little bit. But then the question that I have for you is, obviously, you're starring in Totem Playhouse's 9 to 5. What was the inspiration for you and your character? And tell us about your character.
So I play Dorley Rhodes, which is famously Dolly Parton. Okay. They are iconic high heels to fill.
Oh, yeah.
And high heels, high hair. Dolly Parton is, I think, an American hero.
Oh, yeah. A treasure.
A treasure.
Sure. Yeah.
A treasure. I personally also write music. Okay. And so coming from another woman that is a songwriter and is not afraid to show who she really is and does not hold back, I find really, really inspiring. Of course, I drew from the movie. I've done a lot of country shows in the past. I've done Honky Tonk Angels, which is another country musical where I also played the Dolly Parton track. And
I feel like you need to get with Dolly. Like you need time
Dolly. With her. Yeah, you need time with her.
I think you've earned it.
I think I've earned it. I agree. And wow, that'd be really fun.
She's amazing.
She's amazing.
Oh God,
she's amazing. And nobody can play guitar with fake nails like her. Like that is crazy to me.
It is.
It's unbelievable.
It really is.
It is
Quite
a true talent. My favorite story about how she wrote the song 9 to 5 is the sound of the typewriter she made with her nails. Yeah. It's an honor to be able to embody her and do my best to do that.
Sure, yeah, I got you. Okay, well, Hannah, let's go to you. Let's talk about your character in the show 9 to 5.
So I play Judy Burnley, who is a recently divorced woman who has never worked a day before in her life.
Good.
And so she's got to work, she's got to figure out her life, and it's this big turning point in her life. It's her first day on the job, and there's a lot that ensues, and it's a very, everything's very new for her. And she's got a lot going on. And she spends a lot of the show trying to overcome her pain and her hurt. And it's so awesome to step into this role, especially of how much she grows through the show, and a role that was played by Jane Fonda, who I adore.
Jane is wonderful, yeah.
I love her. Two iconic people, Dolly and Jane. I say that like we're besties, but
right, yeah. You probably do channel a lot. I mean, my goodness, I'm sure you watched the movie and obviously the other stage productions to prepare for it. So you do begin to almost identify, I'm sure, with your character. And that leads me to my next question: is have either of you worked at Totem Pole Productions before?
I have. I got to do I believe it was 2 years ago, I did Footloose at Totem Pole.
Oh, wow.
Wendy Jo, who was one of the friends.
Sure.
It's such a fun show.
It is.
But it's been so fun working there.
And Totem Pole is just such an amazing, iconic venue, but there's not a bad seat in the house. I think that's, obviously there's the quality of the shows, that's first and foremost, right? There's the community aspect of it. But the fact that, I mean, look, when everyone goes to a show, you want to see. Everyone would want the best seat in the house.
Right.
I do think that at Totem Pole, every seat's the best seat in the house because it's such an intimate setting. You really probably feel, I can't speak from experience for this, I've been there, but not on stage, you probably feel like you're really bringing the audience in, Allie, because they really become part of the show. There, especially.
Yeah, I think it's very unique in that you can actually see every seat. You know, sometimes when you're on stage you can't. I also love that it's in a state park. I think it's so cool that it's in a state park, and that's what everybody that's coming to see me that has, you know, this is my first time at Totem Pole, so I'm like, you also could just like go for a hike before the show if you wanted to.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Picnic lunch, whatever.
It's so wonderful.
Now, Allie, let's talk about, and both of you have done what I'm about to say, but we'll start with you. When it comes to your previous expeditions, we'll call it, and I say that, I use that word because you've done a lot on cruise ships. And I've recently, I watch a lot of YouTube. I love, YouTube is my spirit animal because it knows me so well. Like, I didn't realize, and this is God's honest truth, I did not know that I wanted to watch a week in the life of a cruise ship performer about a month and a half ago. But YouTube knew that I did. And I was fascinated. It can be, I should say, I don't know that it is, but it seems like it can be a grueling pace for that. Is that about right?
Yeah, I did Footloose on a ship. I played Rusty, and we did 5 shows in 48 hours. Wow. Which is a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a lot.
It's a high energy show, too.
It's a high energy show. I mean, it's a lot of singing and a lot of dancing.
Yeah.
And you are, the cool thing is that you get to travel, right? But then think about how often you're like walking on land all the time, right? You're walking on land in your daily life all the time. Sometimes you're not when you're on a cruise ship. You get to be, you're floating. You are out there floating, and that is kind of discombobulating sometimes.
Wow. Interesting. That's
like you're
crazy.
living, like you're sleeping, and you're being rocked to sleep every night, not just for like a week long. This is like every night.
But that doesn't sound too bad.
No, it's not. Especially I had a porthole, so like you were looking out of the water. It was very nice. And then also like you are the most famous people on the ship.
Sure, naturally.
Of course, naturally.
Yes.
You get off the ship, nobody cares who you are.
Right.
But on the ship, you're pretty famous.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. But yeah, no, it's cool to travel. I remember when our ship went to the Panama Canal, and it was like our 7th time going. And they're like, "Oh, you're gonna watch it?" I was like, I've seen it. I've seen the Panama Canal.
No big deal. Right?
I was like, but no one's at the Starbucks right now, so I'm gonna go to the Starbucks.
Well, now, so Hannah, you've done these as well, correct?
Yes.
So when it comes to these productions, are they the full-on productions, like say if you were doing 9 to 5, is it a stripped down version on the cruise ships, or is it the full deal?
Well, I did specifically Six the Musical, which is currently a Broadway show.
Okay.
And we had creatives from Six come and work with us, and we did exactly the staging that they do on Broadway.
Okay.
Same costumes, same lighting, same everything. Broadway to ship. It was.
Wow.
So
it's the full-on story. It's not just the music. It's the.
In our case, different ships do different things.
Okay.
I know some ships, if it's like a longer show, but Six, because it's a 90-minute in and out quick show, we just did exactly copy-paste what they do on Broadway.
That is incredible.
It was really awesome.
that unbelievable. So what would you say, Hannah, to someone who hasn't gotten their tickets yet for 9 to 5? Obviously, we are, I forget when, July 6th. Is the final day of this, so July 4th weekend, get out there and go see this. I cannot encourage anyone enough. But you've obviously not just seen the show, you are in the show, you get the feeling of it, you've rehearsed it many, many times and been in it. What would you say to someone who hasn't gotten their tickets? Why should they come to see this particular show?
Oh my gosh. This show, I feel like it's so beautiful because there's so much comedy in it. There's so like you're gonna laugh. You're gonna hear some amazing singing. I mean, Allie here is wailing. She's got a voice on her.
There you go.
And Amy Decker. Oh my gosh,
Truly.
we have a really talented cast. And also the story for like anyone who's ever felt like the little man in a situation or like feel like you're up against something that's really challenging and like things aren't going your way. it is, I mean, there's a song called Change It in the show, but it's kind of like inspiration to like take the things in your life that aren't working and change it.
Yeah.
So not only is it hilarious, but there's so much heart as well.
And I think it's important to know that it is a movie musical, and some people are like, I want it like the movie, and it really is just like the movie. And Dolly Parton wrote every single song.
Well, and
in the musical.
To your point is, we don't always grant the grace when we see a show like this that there will be and can be and should be, there's differences. I would equate it to when you're reading a book versus watching the movie, and then watching the movie versus watching the stage production. There are going to be those nuanced differences, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I love that you're saying that this is practically it's just a stage version of what you see on the screen, which I love. And what I was going to ask you, Allie, as my final question for you was, since you have not been to Totem Playhouse before, what is it that, and it can be anything, not just the grounds or anything, but what is it that surprised you the most when coming to Totem Pole?
I think it's a sense of community and pride of the theater. I said this on day one, but you know, we travel the country and work at regional theaters all over, and you walk in and everybody is so happy to be there and so proud of what they've created, and you want to just like jump right in and be a part of that.
Great.
Which I think is really exciting and really cool. And the community like embraces you wholeheartedly. Mr. Ed's, I love it there. As a candy connoisseur, it's a fantastic place to be.
It certainly is.
But yeah, no, I would say it's the community and the pride that they have in their work. And
be careful, because you're going to leave with diabetes.
Oh, okay.
You don't come with it, but you may go with it.
You know what? It's a miracle we've gotten this far. So I will say
you'll have to hit the cruise ship once again, and just that way you don't have to worry about that. But Hannah, you obviously have been at Totem Pole Playhouse, are now, and you are sticking around because later on this summer you are starring as Carole King in that musical. So first, congratulations for that, and obviously we'll probably have you back to talk about that in more detail. But just give us a little synopsis of what's going on with that show.
Yeah, well, it's the story of, I mean, Carole King has a huge life. Also, her memoir's unbelievable if you haven't had the chance to read it, or the audiobook she reads. But it's her life leading up to recording the Tapestry album, and she's just lived such a life, and she's written some of the most incredible songs, many of which audiences may not even know that she wrote. Which
I love, yes.
So you're going to come to that show and you're going to know every single song.
That's wonderful.
And she's just such an iconic songwriter. I'm also a songwriter, like Allie as well. So getting to play someone who's inspired me since I was a kid is just such a dream come true.
I love that. It never ceases to amaze me. I say this all the time, but everyone who comes here for Let's Talk TriState, I don't care what it is that they are talking about or promoting, they do it with such passion. And to see the passion that both of you have and that excitement, you know, Allie, you for playing Dolly Parton, and she's like, wow, she's an idol of mine, and I love that. And Hannah for Carole King. I mean, obviously Jane Fonda in the 9 to 5, but that excitement would make me want to go see the show, because if the performers are that like fanning out about it, you know what I mean? That like really just embracing all of it, has no choice but to come across in the performance and come out. So I think that is awesome, and it really just makes me so happy. And again, Allie, to your point, the community, the embracing of all things Totem Pole Playhouse, our area really does love it. It's a treasure. Michelle State Forest, my goodness, if you haven't gotten your tickets yet for 9 to 5, I don't know what you're waiting on. Click the links, get there, totempoleplayhouse.org. Allie and Hannah are going to continue putting on an amazing show July 6th, last day of the run, so make sure you get your tickets. Ladies, thank you for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And as always, we thank you for joining us on Let's Talk TriState.
Let's Talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk TriState, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.